Hey guys,
Hey,
I'm Greg. Not just kidding. Greg's not here. Last Man In podcast episode number. What number does the worst player in hockey wear, Carey? Worst player.
Worst player in
Worst
hockey?
player in hockey. He wears like black, gold, and white. And
Oh,
he's
by worst, he means
number
he means the
87.
best.
Good old Sidney Crosby.
Yeah,
there.
I was like, I'm not saying it on
he's
podcast.
so bad. It's
The
like
worst.
You can't even
He's the
lead
worst.
his team
He's
out
terrible.
That's why
back in the
also I'm
playoffs.
wearing my filthy Tro Kessel shirt.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh.
Phil's pretty happy to be along for the ride now.
Dude,
isn't he?
he's crushing it right now.
Is
Took
he?
him 6 months, but he's
Yeah. Is he finally putting a couple goals in the back?
few.
Yeah, he's at like 27.
Wow, he's almost got as many as Mark Scheifele.
I think he might even have more. Fuck you and your stupid smug
I'm
face.
just saying.
Does he actually have 27? Because Scheifele has 27.
I think he
Isn't that
maybe
kind of
even has
hilarious?
26. Like, last time I checked, I know he hit 25 for sure.
What is he making?
Dan
for
is stats
Pittsburgh
guy
right
today.
now?
What's that?
What is he making for Pittsburgh right now? Because we should all be terrified. Because that's what Scheifele is going to point to be like. Kessel got that. I want that.
Kessel
Oh,
is
no.
making, well, his contract's, I believe, 8.3. But from Pittsburgh, I think he's getting paid like 6.8.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I get
Toronto's
the Leafs
eating
are
some of
eating a
that.
bunch of that. They're like, we want to hit the floor.
Toronto's eating that contract in many ways.
Yeah,
So I'll
oh
just
man,
say that.
because he's going
It's
on
okay.
a...
They got rid of the
Well,
FNF deal.
Now, the better the Pens do, the worse that pick becomes that was in that
No.
trade. That's why they're like, a month ago before this streak started where... God, how many games have they won? Oh, it's just, they're on such a tear. But either way, when they started the...
Don't you mean the better the pick becomes, like the higher up in the draft it goes?
Oh, yeah, no. Originally it was amazing because they were
Yeah.
just going to barely make the playoffs or miss, and then that pick would be high. Now, they're probably... You know what? If playoffs started
Oh, I see what
today,
you're
who
saying.
do they
It's
play?
the
The
same pick.
Rangers?
Yeah,
I'm taking Penguins 100%.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, true. Yeah, if they'd missed the playoffs, then that would have been rough.
Oh, yeah. Carey's back, Busser.
Hey,
Oh,
what's
and
going
just...
on?
Oh, shit. That's what we got to start with. I actually promised.
Okay.
See, this is why it's good to have Greg in charge, because I'm just all over the place always.
You're all right.
Okay, we're going to re-answer the questions from last week, because we really just wrapped them up quick. And I said I'd start with them to get them out of the way.
Okay. And are they like relevant to me or something, or is this just something?
Yeah, it popped in my head.
They're relevant to Cam being an
Okay.
asshole, not checking the email for 2 months.
Yeah, it was 3 weeks, first off, but yes, I take one.
You gotta care about the fans.
I know.
man.
Well, dude, yeah, I know. I feel like a dick.
Learn about.
Okay,
the
from
fans.
Nick Bolduke, or Nick. Hey, boys, I'm still alive. Couple questions for you. Nick's nicknames in the NHL are usually kind of boring in recent years. Shifes, Wheels, Pavs, etc. That's why I thought of it, because Carey's last name is Bus. You would look him up. He's a musician. I'll tweet all his stuff. But we call him Busser.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, if you have a short name, it becomes long. Long name, short.
Yes.
Carey, you might be able to answer this question.
I also have been called Seabass before.
Seabass, there you go. It's Carey Bus, Seabass.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Hockey players are super inventive.
We're
Okay.
noted for our creativity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cam, what's with the Ryan Murphy hate? Why do I not like Ryan Murphy?
I don't know. Why don't you?
I
like
don't
Ryan
know.
Murphy?
It's just like Greg
Is
said.
it
It's
Ryan
his...
Murphy or Ryan Murray?
No, Murphy. Murray
right?
is awesome.
Yeah,
Murphy.
Murphy. Is it his face? or
I
what?
think.
do you
Yeah.
think
See, that's what Greg said.
Like,
Greg's
is it
like,
just that he just
I have
has
a
one
weird.
of those like
Did he do
the
something
early
to you?
Crosby.
Yeah,
face,
I
or
well,
what?
he specifically did screwing over Team Canada World Juniors because
That's probably it.
He's that one guy who's like, oh, don't worry, I'll stop a point shot with my blade of the stick, and then goes off his blade and tips over the goalie shoulder.
Because we know how forgiving you are when it comes to Canada. You're not. At all.
Gold or bust.
At all.
So.
It's okay. My boys got it done. This
Spin it, yeah. You could gloat. Here, I'll give you like 10 seconds of gloating.
I'm pretty
will
sure he called it on the
for
podcast,
this
too.
podcast, I am going to be Carey, the dude I called it guy on the podcast. I'm going to be
You
that
did, though.
fucking asshole
I couldn't-
who always goes out on a limb and somehow like the horseshoe shoved all the way up my rectum gets it right.
Gets right up in
way
there.
to go, boys. Finland. I didn't even know before I watched that. Like, I watched the whole tournament, watched every Finland game. They had a way better team than I knew going in. Like, holy shit. And
Yeah.
I really hope that we get one of those twins. Because, oh my god.
They're not twins.
It doesn't matter. They're fucking big.
They're a package deal.
They're a package deal, and I want them both. All right, so we better be making some trades. All right, package deal, Buffy and Shifes. I don't care. We're gonna get both of them.
To Edmonton?
Yes.
To Edmonton and Toronto
Yeah,
each?
to Edmonton for the first overall pick, and we take Yessie instead. Someone's like, "What the fuck are you you doing? And then they take Matthews, and then we get the third pick with take Patrick Line. Fucking awesome.
Line. Darren's just like, what in the fuck? Why?
Like, why is Carey allowed on the podcast?
Yeah, why is he
We're gonna be
here?
goddamn lucky if we get a third pick.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm like hoping to bring like, come on, my man, come on. Although Vancouver's doing us some favors right now. They're like, we can win. Did you hear someone tweet it? Because they won 3 in a row. And someone apparently tweeted that Willie Desjardins should be fired strictly for finally finding a way to inspire Vancouver to win 3 games.
When they don't need wins. Toss it in, baby. But hold on. Would you rather have, and you know what, this leads into the next question, so I'll read the question and then I'll ask another question.
Also, great question, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
It was...
What was
Why
the
does he hate
Ryan
Ryan
Murphy? Okay.
Yeah, his face. I have a weird thing about disliking...
Cam's heartless. That's why.
Like,
Well, and
Taylor
you go
Hall...
based off of face, too. You hate Taylor Hall based off his face.
And you know what
Drew
I...
Doughty.
Justin...
There's many reasons.
There's many reasons.
Justin
but the
Williams.
is one.
Yeah, you hate... Well, you just hate all the Kings.
Yeah.
Dustin Brown. Man, I kind of like him, actually.
See, that's funny, too, because, like, I hate teams that, like, the Flyers never play. It's just, like, teams that have... They're just
No
good. They're
reason.
just really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like, I should absolutely hate Penguins. I kind of like watching the Penguins play. There's a few guys on the team that I'm like, I don't like them.
You like them until they play the Flyers in the playoffs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you want to know what's funny, though? Is, like, usually I don't hate teams that suck because it's like, well, whatever. They're not really a nuisance. But, like, at this point, I'm starting to just hate Edmonton. Like, you
It's
know,
not
I think
fair.
everybody.
fair.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? No, you deserve this. You stay down there, and you be miserable.
You burn.
You almost want them to be good so they don't get the last pick.
I want them to be...
King.
Here's the thing. I don't
They
want
should
Edmonton
be
to
like
be
where
good.
the Jets were for 10 years.
Thank you. Yeah.
Between 7th and 10th, worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what they, like, you can't judge a scouting staff off of, if you get a top 5 pick every year, it's all about every other pick, and guess what? All the other picks suck.
Yeah.
So bad. So bad.
Do you think it's still the old boys club thing in Edmonton?
They're moving it around a bit,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Daryl Cates still got his hands up in there. He's got the Vancouver factor where who are the owners of Vancouver?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Either way,
not
they've
tell
been
you.
there for too long to sell the team, stop doing stuff. All right, I'll lead into this
Well,
question.
they've definitely proven that drafting the best player available is not a viable strategy.
Yeah, you got to take some D.
Because they've done it for 5 years and...
Who should they
Doesn't
have
work.
drafted instead of Yakupov? Because clearly he's getting
I
traded.
don't know if they should have drafted somebody else,
Obviously.
but they should have made a trade. Smooth down a couple picks and get a decent defenseman.
And
Who's
for
the
like
first
a
D
serviceable
taken that
NHL player and
Like if they get the first pick, if they get the first 2 or 3 picks this year, why not
Who was the first?
look for someone who's around 5th or 6th, swap picks and get a defenseman?
Who's the first D taken that year in Yak's spot?
What year was he?
I don't know.
Galchenyuk year.
Gilchinik
Tells
isn't
me
a D
nothing.
though.
11 or 12?
Hold on, let me find out here.
We're so good at this,
Oh, they love it. They love it.
guys. We are nothing but consummate professionals.
We are great.
Well, this is the huge difference between when Greg's not here and Greg is here, because
Yeah.
Greg has the fortitude and power to just keep talking while we're
it's
doing
true.
this.
He's the blowhard.
Oh yeah, for
He
sure.
just- he just-
Okay.
2012 first
Oh
round.
wow, second overall pick.
Yeah.
Ryan Murray.
Ah,
Wait, 4th overall, Griffin Reinhart. Everyone's shaking their heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Montreal
Who's
took
3?
Galchenyuk.
3.
Galchenyuk's 3.
Okay. That
Number
was not a strong draft.
number
class.
5 going to
Yikes.
Toronto. Morgie Rileman.
Oh, buddy, could you
Damn
imagine if
it.
the Oilers had picked up Morgan Riley instead? Way better.
Okay, here I'll name. This was actually a defense-heavy draft, like incredibly. I
They
remember
really
this.
screwed up.
6th was Hampus Lindholm.
Mm-hmm.
7th was Matt Dumba.
Wait, time out. I think Lindholm's actually the best D so far. Maybe Riley's better.
I would take Riley.
Would you take Riley?
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a ton of Morgan Riley yet.
That's because
I've
you don't
seen
want to
plenty
see a
Hampus
ton of Morgan
Lindholm, but
Riley.
He's
Just
steady as she goes.
He's yeah.
So.
All right, Derek Pouliot, and then
Right.
the Troubster, Jacob Trouba.
The troops.
And then I remember this draft pick specifically because he played for the Guelph Storm, and I didn't know how to pronounce his name
You know what,
until he got
guys? I
drafted.
just realized that we've been jealous of Edmonton for having the first overall pick all those years. A year that they had the first overall pick that we're just talking about now, would we not rather have Jacob Trouba on the Jets than having Nail Yakupov?
Yes.
Holy crap.
Absolutely.
Like, that's not even this night and day.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, Edmonton, suck it. You couldn't even get it right, and you had the first choice.
They're just like, hey,
I
you
love
guys
that.
hear that?
Guys, this is not. They said he'd be good.
Yeah. All right, this
Oh, I
kid
love
played
it.
at it. I used to call him Kek but when he got drafted,
What?
his
Konechny?
name nope Slater Cuckoo, but it's spelled Koek.
Who drafted him?
Tampa. He's still
He
in
ain't never
there.
playing with nobody.
And then Washington.
Hmm.
This one's gonna hurt for Washington because that trade at the deadline didn't work out.
Oh, was it Philip Forsberg?
Yes.
How the hell? Why did he drop all the way down there? Yeah, that's
Because he didn't play
Edmonton.
here. It's that European bias where they're like, well, I mean, he only played like 35 games in the league. Yeah, against full-grown men. Yeah, but it's not 70 like junior. Yeah, you mean against junior
Well,
kids.
his numbers aren't that great. Right, it was against full-grown men.
On international ice. Like that's...
Didn't they trade him for
David
like
Poile's
Martin
like,
Erat?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly who they traded for. Dan
The
Space
no-goal man.
Oh, Jesus.
The no-goal man. Hey, Edmonton, you missed out on Philip Forsberg too that year.
I want to see any other...
Oh.
Hey, Washington had a great first round that year. They also drafted Tom Wilson. That's a Hey, I mean,
Solid.
okay, sure, it sucks that it's a first, but it's
I was
solid.
like, why
Chris
you would
Thorburn
take
2.0, it's fine.
why you would take Tom Wilson in the first round? Ooh, give me-
Here,
How
I'm
did
just
that
going to
fourth
name
line
another
forward today?
pretty serviceable defenseman that you could have taken, and it was at 22, and I'm upset that Phil, no offense to this player I'm about to say who Philly drafted, but I'd much rather have this guy on my team. Oli Mata went
Mata
22nd.
smash.
He went 22nd.
Okay, so hold on. Timeout, Edmonton. Can I see that list, please?
You may.
Okay. Dear Edmonton, you could have had, instead of the beloved Nail Man, you could have had Morgan Riley. Or Ryan Murray. Or you could have had Jacob Trouba, who is playing in the NHL. Or Philip Forsberg. Boy, you guys messed up big. How does it feel? Does it hurt a little bit? Could have had Oli Mata. Could have had finally a decent blue line, but you blew it.
Morgan Rauman is he's like a just
He's a smooth
great
skater.
all around player.
Yeah,
Because Oli Mata is more offense than defense.
yeah, true.
So
Which is strange for a Finnish defenseman, but it happens.
all right,
It's
so
like
to go
another,
back to the Vancouver question,
Oh yeah.
I know.
So
right?
what was the question?
Okay, here's a question. When watching or listening to your guys' podcast on expansion, I believe Seattle should get a team to have a rivalry with the Canucks. And as I was thinking, if they have an expansion, fans should vote, but it means a little more than Gary's ruling. I don't know what that means. And every year they should have a vote from the GMs on if they should expand or move teams instead of actually expanding. Just move a team if they're doing shitty. So obviously, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that probably Carolina would go first. Who would you move first?
Probably.
Okay, I know we want to say Arizona, but
Yeah.
I mean
They're like exempt for...
they can't.
A little.
Arizona
For
will
Uncle
never
Gary
move
reasons.
because that Gary Bettman that fully puts his blame on being like, you know what, we should have stayed in Winnipeg. I get why he moved. He had to move because the money sucked.
Yeah.
But like, he's never gonna move Arizona. That's like he's
No,
gonna-
I wasn't wrong.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
like he's gonna stand on that hill till he's dead. Like he's
Until
not.
he's not around.
Yeah, essentially.
So,
So
what do you have you guys talked about expansion? I feel like we've talked about expansion on this podcast.
a little bit,
before.
yeah, but
But like I heard someone talking the other day saying how like the league is barely good enough with the 30 teams that it has, like to have like really high quality players on every team. Like a lot of fourth lines don't see the light of day most of the time. So it's like, why are we expanding? We clearly don't have an extra, 60 players to put on each team to make, that feasible. And yeah, I don't know. Like the NHL also isn't doing super well monetarily, so expansion doesn't really make any sense.
no, but I'm with you on that. I don't, yeah, because the skill level, now we finally have, like, each team you have to have 3 scoring lines now.
Yeah.
If you
3
bring
lines
in
that can at
another
least
team,
contribute.
you're going to have, like, 2 scoring lines and then, ish, because the skill level is going to go down because the talent pool just got bigger.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like, I mean, I guess for a lot of NHL or guys who like are on the on that line, like the Matt Hallis-Chucks of the world, are probably going to be thrilled to hear about the idea of expansion. They're like, I get a guaranteed job.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, the
But,
tweeners are always going to have a job then, and then that'll
Yeah.
mean that all the young guys will automatically go to the A, which will make the AHL better, or already better than what it is.
I don't know. I think more young guys will just end up in the league.
Oh, and then the
Because
tweeners will
it'll
go
just
down.
It'll just be more spread out. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, if you put both teams, if you do 2 teams in the West, then it evens out the numbers. But I don't know. I don't feel like this league is in need of expansion at this point. I feel like it's just like a short term. Like, can we make more money if we go there? Because it'd be exciting for a couple of years. But like, you put a team in Las Vegas. I don't know about you guys. I don't think that thing's gonna be a long term like viable.
Unless you get, it's long term. No way. You're gonna have investors, and every seat's gonna be a comp seat. It's gonna be like, oh hey, thanks for visiting the MGM Grand.
Right.
Have you ever heard of the Vegas Knights or
The Las Vegas Vipers or something?
I think they want to call it right now the Black Knights is the rumor going around.
Think about
I
this,
think
though.
there's history regarding something. I don't know what.
Think about this. Vegas is a tourist town. How
Yeah.
many people do you ever talk to that live in Las Vegas? You don't ever hear that.
Well, there are a lot of people.
Okay,
People live in Las
I don't
Vegas.
want to be the douche of the
People
podcast.
live there.
I have a cousin who lives in
Okay.
Vegas. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
People
hilarious.
live there, but how many people that live there are going to go to 45 hockey games a
Oh,
year?
Vegas, like the actual Vegas that we're thinking
They're
of, like the
completely
strip
a
is
tourist.
like 40 minutes out of the way. Like
They're-
it's like
Oh,
its
really?
own mini type town. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's where the team's going to play. They're
Yeah.
not going to play in
So, yeah,
Southern
It's
how
going to
many
be
people
another
from there are
Glendale,
gonna
like
want
Arizona,
it?
where it's like,
Oh, man.
why didn't you put it like Arizona could work, but put it in whatever that hell the
In
the
there.
town is in, not actually like Glendale, where it's like to us
Yeah, I know,
it would
it's-
be like Headingley. No, not even
It's
far.
further.
It'd be
It would
Portage.
Portage.
Yeah, Portage is the
But
perfect.
the
Oh,
re-
that's dumb. I'm
the
not
reason
driving
they have
there
big
for that
events in
friggin'.
Vegas is because people travel there for the events. You think people are going to travel there for 45 hockey
I guess
games?
my question
You're gonna get
is,
a pretty big
For the
pulse.
first year, you
here's-
might have enough people like staggered
Yeah.
throughout the year, but it's not.
Here's my question.
It's not.
Does Las Vegas have any team in any of the other 3 major pro sports in America?
No, and they're not even talked about. Not even close.
Right. Now,
They had an XFL team. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
They also have an ICHL team, the Las Vegas Wranglers, right? Or
ECHL?
That's what
I think
meant,
so, yeah.
Or were they IHL? I'm not sure. Which
Well,
one.
I mean, it would be the ECHL now because
Oh, okay.
IHL
IHL got
disbanded.
merged?
Or
Okay.
folded, I guess. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, I guess the way that I look at it is hockey is the weakest sport in the States of all those 4.
And they want to try
And
it.
they're the ones that want to try that experimental market. Like, no, it's a bad
Well,
idea.
basketball and football can't. They
Why?
just can't. Because their players are crazy.
Oh.
Dude, like their off-court antics.
You know what? You think baseball's any better? They don't even have to be in shape for the game.
That's
Holy
a great
shit.
point.
I love baseball, don't get me wrong, but like I think that would be
But
almost
hold on,
worse.
you don't have to be in shape for the game, but you have to be attending the game. And,
And-
you'll play 162 games.
Well,
in
that's a
year.
good point. You have to at least be awake for it. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, sure enough, it
But
keeps
see,
you out of trouble that
Like,
way.
I guess it's being like a dick part of it, but like basketball and football, I don't think
They would
could
go
ever do.
nuts.
Everyone would
Yeah, but
love
dude,
playing
look,
Vegas.
hockey players don't. Why do you think Mikey Richards and Jeffy Cotman got shipped out of Philly there? I mean, besides their,
Fiestas.
fiestas with Pronger's wife.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but I think it happened.
Throw out. That's Carey J. Bus saying this. No one else.
I'm going on the record and saying it.
Oh my god.
Because my word is worth so much. I'm a trusted hockey insider. No, I'm not. No one gives a crap about
All
what I
right,
have to
but
say.
back to so expansion. If Seattle got a team, I was just trying to bring it back to we were talking about like Austin Matthews in the draft. Wouldn't you rather see Austin Matthews? Like I'd much rather see him go to Seattle than Vancouver because Vancouver just fuck him up again. Like they'll screw up again
I just, for me, I just have this bias against Vancouver because I just hate the Canucks.
because you're
and
Flames.
like,
Yeah.
and like they're not even good, but I'm still just like good, yeah, eat the dirt. I don't even care. Like just get down there, but like that's just me being a ruthless hockey fan. So.
It's because
I would
they're the
rather
Western
see-
version of Toronto. They're the end all
Yeah,
be all.
I
They're the
guess
center
they
of the
were.
universe.
Well, no,
according
it's
to,
not even that.
to
It's just the
TV.
amount of fans that I've met that have been just real jerks.
Well, but they feel they think that they're the center of the universe, just like Toronto.
I guess that's probably why Winnipeggers
Like,
have
remember that
such
year
a
that-
bias towards Vancouver and Toronto because when the Jets were gone, that's all we got. Every goddamn game was either Canucks or Leafs.
That's why I think you
essentially.
see a lot of Flames and Oilers fans in Winnipeg.
Oh, especially in Winnipeg, yeah. Go ahead, Dan, you were going to say. All right, well, I guess we could jump on in. The Jets, they played their last homestand of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to any of the games, Dan?
Are we talking about the Ottawa game?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's the first game.
Okay,
But I
that
was
there.
referring to
that was
all
the
of
last
them.
game. 1-2.
Okay, and what was the score?
Oh, I don't remember.
Dan, by the way,
They
goes to
lost.
so many games he doesn't know the score.
No, I've had.
They're all.
Dan, that's a very poor
I'm
scouting
failing.
report.
It's
I
not
just wanna
that.
let you know.
Hey, Greg's on
I'm
a
gonna
scouting
be.
report
I'm gonna
this
be
evening.
brutally honest with you. I haven't given up on them this year, but my interest is like
That's called
is it
tangnation.
waning?
Gone.
That's
Tank
called
Nation.
embracing the
Tank Nation.
tank.
I believe they lost
You gotta
3
be
to
one of
2
the
or
tank
2 to 1.
commanders.
It was 2-1
Okay.
to the Sens. It wasn't supposed to be a quiz. I wasn't supposed to.
The only thing
Yeah,
I
That was
remember.
a rough game.
The only thing
though.
I remember is this was possibly Mark Stone's last hockey game ever. That's
Did
all
you
I
see the
remember.
highlight?
I hope it isn't his last game ever because I actually think he's a great player.
I do too. I do too.
And
But the hit
and
was.
I rather
jeez.
like his style, but yeah, that buddy, you have got to keep your head up if you know Buff's on the ice, especially going chasing after a puck like that. Like holy man! And what's interesting is how much Buff actually held up on the hit. If you watched, and he's still just rocked.
Was that you telling me that he did an interview, or Mark Stone did an interview? Someone was talking during an interview, and they're like, "Yeah, you know when you're younger, and you're playing football or something, and you're looking away, or you're playing baseball, and you're tracking down a ball, but you realize that you're in a field like where there's trees or something, and you run into a tree." I imagine that hit was like that, just a lot harder.
I read an
I
article.
ran into a tree and it sucks.
I read an article like immediately there were not thousands, but tons of people thought it was a dirty hit. Blah blah
No,
blah.
no way.
All this
Mm-mm.
stuff,
Nope.
and there's such
That
a
was
sensitivity
fully
over hitting and fighting in hockey nowadays. Back like 10 years ago, that was commonplace. That
Well,
happened. That happened
Dude,
once
Scott
a game.
Stevens would have done that and would have thrown in a little extra on
Yeah.
the head if he could.
And I read an article about a guy in the hockey press, and he said, "Don't even think about giving a suspension, because the point of injury for Mark Stone was in the chest. He had a chest injury. That goes to show you, it was not a headshot.
And it was okay. The
They
huge
basically
thing,
said,
yeah.
if you want to teach your kids how to level someone cleanly, you watch that hit and you teach them how to do that.
Yeah, you
Because
go.
that's what it was. He
And-
just
it's
steamrolled
just
the
that
guy.
your kids aren't going to be 265 pounds.
But
to
what
hit
they
someone.
what they do nowadays too is that, or regarding the NHL and hits and suspensions,
Yeah.
the sound is the huge.
Yep.
Like, the louder the sound, and like the more theatrical it is, the more likely you are to get a suspension now.
Speaking of a pair of suspensions that happened this week, I find them a little like just strange. Like Nazem Kadri.
Wait, hold on. We can get to those.
Okay.
Put those on pause.
We gotta put those on
Yeah,
pause?
because we got
Okay.
a good chunk of suspensions I want to talk about.
Oh, mama.
Yeah, we
Great.
got a good
Okay,
chunk.
so let's stay on the Buff hit then for a little
Okay,
bit
no,
longer.
Congrats to the NHL officials for getting it right, because
they nailed it.
Bufflin's thrown that hit a bunch of times this year, and he's gotten a penalty for it every time because it looks awful, because he's so bloody big.
Well,
Yeah,
Mark
who
Stone
else?
was
He
leaning
leveled
forward, but he
someone else.
totally all chest.
Bufflin has gotten a lot of roughing penalties for clean hits this year because they look terrible. And then you watch him on the replay, you're like,
Well, he's
what's
he's
wrong
got
with
the
that?
pronger problem, right?
He
It's
does.
The same
The
thing where
referee-
he's just so much bigger than everyone else.
And the referees, if it looks bad, they're going to call it.
Yeah.
But props to them, because he got jumped by 3 Ottawa players, and he did not get a penalty. Ottawa got a penalty, and he did not. So
Nice.
and honestly, that's
Well,
there's such a sensitivity over hitting and stuff nowadays, but I don't. They
I do
got it right.
wonder, like,
They got it right. So
as
good
a
for them.
hockey player, do you think, like, obviously when a guy gets leveled, you know, you feel bad for your teammate. But when it's a clean hit like that, like, do you chase a guy or do you, like, because I don't know, like, for me, like, when there's, like, a dirty hit, that's when you go after a guy. But, like, if he just makes a good, clean hockey play, albeit one that definitely injured Mark Stone, it's like, do you really go after Bufflin for making that? I don't know.
Well,
I saw
you
Chris
can be
as
unhappy.
a team ethic, like team morale code, you probably have to.
Yeah, I guess, eh?
But it's like, I don't know. I don't think you give it guns a-blazing, because it's like Mark Stone definitely put himself in that position.
Right.
Anyway. Most hockey
Like, did
players who
anyone?
get...
I forget because I didn't watch the game.
Dan
Did
was at
anyone
the game,
jump, no, but for the Strawman hit on Brian Little, did anyone jump Strawman? For
Yeah,
that one?
Wheeler
Yeah,
beat
oh,
the snot out of him.
Jesus,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's why Paul Maurice was so mad, because Wheeler jumped him, beat him up, and Wheeler got the only penalty.
Maurice was mad for a lot of reasons.
But that was
He's an
kind of the
angry
tipping point
sir.
where he.
He had an angry game.
Yeah.
All
it's,
right.
It's a natural reaction when one of your guys gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
feel, but
That's why I figured I'd ask.
All right, so the following game, the Jets played the Hawks. They won 5-4 in overtime.
lost.
They lost 5-4 in
Yeah,
overtime.
we watched it on my birthday.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah.
And then
Good game,
Yeah,
actually.
Chicago's
Really good
good.
game.
Yeah,
Chicago's
a very
good.
team.
Nothing learned there.
Mhm.
And
Then their
we
last
beat
home
the
game of the
pants
year.
off of the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah,
didn't
5-1.
we? Apparently,
I just-
Chris Scorburn scored a goal.
Oh, did he? Well, that's
Yeah.
what he does. It's in his name.
It's what he does.
I will
It's
admit
kinda
it.
what he does.
I'll come out right out and say it. Andrew Kopp scored a beautiful goal.
Yeah, he did.
He dangled between.
And I
He
know
toe
how
dragged
much-
two defensemen and backhand 5-hole.
My favorite
Breakaway.
is when I saw that, the first thing I thought of was And Dan always says he doesn't do anything.
That's something.
I'm going to try and find that video and tweet it and say he
nice
scored a beautiful goal.
Beautiful goal.
And I'm going to tag
Dan
you.
Rudy.
It was
Dan Rudy
beautiful.
picture and Dan like thumbs up.
Once again, the Jets are proving that they don't want to finish last, and they're going to start winning when it doesn't matter.
Damn it.
You know what? It's okay.
And
Should probably talk that Blake Wheeler set a career high for points in the
Yes,
Chicago
perfect.
game.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was.
His old was 69. He is now at 73.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Think they
man.
find
Not too shabby for a guy that
what
makes
po-
$575 a year for the
No
next
kidding.
3
And
years.
at what point does he start entering the discussion of like one of the elite players in the league?
when
Like, if
he's
you're-
in an All-Star game, and until then, I
When he
will
doesn't
not
play for-
consider him an All-Star.
When he
Yeah,
doesn't play
George.
for Winnipeg.
Yeah, I guess. Right?
That's when. If he played
'Cause
for any
it's-
other
it's
team,
just
he
so-
would be considered
yeah.
an elite
when
player.
he
Like
joins the right
but-
wing with Claude Giroux. Oh, imagine that.
Yeah, you wish you guys had his contract.
I would cheer
You don't know
and
anything about
I would
signing
cheer
good
and
contracts.
support Blake Wheeler
Yeah.
if he played for the Flyers, and only if he played for the
Oh,
Flyers.
okay.
During that game, before the game, the Jets gave out their annual team awards before the game, and their 3 Stars award went to, any guesses? I think I told you guys. But
Scheifele.
Mark Scheifele, which is like the most 3 Stars nominations
Oh,
of
yeah.
the
And
year.
He probably got most of them in the last month.
Yeah, oh jeez.
Boy, has he
Uh,
ever been good.
Community.
He had, sorry, not to interrupt you,
No,
but
go.
he had, they said on TV, 19 points in March, 20 points in March.
That's pretty nuts.
Basically, he had so many points in March that if he did that all year, he'd have 130 points.
Who?
I think he has
Like if
the
you
most.
extrapolated it, if
I-
he
You
did it
prorate
consistently.
Yeah,
I think he has the
130
second most
points.
points since like February something, only to Cross.
Ooh,
Cross or Kane, one or the other. I think. Fix me on that if I'm wrong.
that's
Correct
a
me.
pretty good tear to go on there.
It is. And then the Community Service Award went to Mark Stewart because
Mac.
he's awesome.
He is a good guy.
And then the Dan Snyder Award for exemplifying perseverance, dedication, and hard work went to Matt Halishchuk.
It's hard to go up and down from the AHL all year. It is.
Yeah.
I
No.
feel bad for him.
Yeah. All right.
He's
And
an
then,
NHL player.
well, speaking of Matt Halishchuk, he played a lot with the Moose this year. The Moose this past week lost 3-2 and lost 4-2 and won 3-2 against the Iowa Wild. So that's pretty neat. I only bring that up because the Jets have signed they signed Jansen Harkins to amateur tryout.
Amateur.
Amateur. Their second round draft pick, 2015.
Nice.
I hope he does good. And Josh Morrissey got named
Goes way.
the IOA American, what is that word? Specialty AHL Man of the Year for outstanding contributions to the community. And Josh Morrissey bobblehead night is April 9th. And Dan wants everyone to know it's
pretty
mini bobblehead night.
He's just trying to say
The
that he's
AHL?
glad that the Moose are on a budget. That's all
It's
he's
true.
trying to say.
Budget.
They're saving on materials.
Yep.
It's budget.
All right.
Budget
Green team.
bobblehead night. Budget bobblehead. Say that.
Budgie Bobbles with shakes.
Right.
The bobblehead. Shakes the bobblehead.
Shakes?
Shakes.
Who's shakes?
I've been through this like 100 times in
Is
everyone.
Josh Morrissey shakes?
Yes, please. Let me
Is
take you on
Snap-
the adventure yet again, everyone. Thanks, Carey,
No,
for not
no,
listening.
don't
No,
do it.
I'm doing it.
Cameron,
Okay,
don't.
Joshua Morrissey,
Yeah.
he's very fluid at skating.
Uh-huh.
It's like watching poetry in motion. Poetry. English, Shakespeare, shakes. Look how I got there.
You're welcome.
Yep. The look on Carey's face is like, you're an idiot. So Shakes gets his own
You're
bobbler.
a beautiful moron. Cameron.
Yes, I am.
really love and respect it.
All right, well, moving into the NHL. Actually, speaking of Jets prospects, Kyle Connor is one of the 3 finalists for the Hobie Baker Award. No surprise, because he's winning it. He's also nominated with Jimmy Vesey, who Jimmy Vesey's been nominated for the 2nd straight year,
And he did he
along
sign
with
Boston?
Thatcher Demko.
I don't know who that
He's a goalie prospect for, I believe, the Canucks.
is.
Yeah,
No,
I know,
not
right?
the Canucks. They'll trade him. It's okay.
Yeah, but Kyle Connor's got that locked up. Huge news today, though.
What's that?
John Scott's back in the NHL. He's
Oh
playing.
yeah, for a 1-game stint with the
Yeah.
Habs.
Mhm.
What's that all?
They're righting their wrong.
As Jim Jeffries would say, "What's that all about?"
All right.
No, but why is he only playing 1 game?
I don't
why
know, because it's the Habs. They're stupid, and I
So
can't
he
wait
just-
for Michelle Therrien to get fired and Guy
here's what
Boucher
I
to get
wanna know.
hired. Do it now. Come on.
Did he just did his wife just be like, we need to go to Montreal, we need to do like a shopping trip, pick something up, and he's like, all right, I'll call him and just see if I can just cover a game.
Wait, are you shitting on the town of St. John's, Carey?
No,
saying
I
they
think-
don't have
Hey,
shopping?
time out. I have friends in St. John's, beautiful town. Want to go there. But what I'm saying is,
Oh, you mean that's
someone
St.
could-
John's, not this St. John's. Because there's 2 St. John's in Canada.
I know. There's one in New Brunswick and one in Newfoundland.
Good, I was hoping you'd know the answer because I don't know the answer to that. So,
Yeah. One of them is St. John, and then the other is St. John's.
oh.
Which isn't confusing for anybody, thankfully. It's kind of like how...
None.
Hey, today I
like
found
how-
out there's an Ottawa and Illinois.
I do remember... Oh my
and a
God.
Vancouver and
There's also
Washington.
an Ontario and California.
Pretty sure there's a Winnipeg somewhere in the
There's
States,
a
too.
Paris in Kentucky, too.
And they don't call it
A Fuda!
Oh God, no one knows what that joke is.
No one will reference that, and I
what-
can't tweet
I know.
it. So
Okay, but
purpose.
what were we just saying? You were saying that something, and there's a somewhere into somewhere.
Oh, you're pooping on St. John's for their shopping because...
Oh yeah, that was like how
St.
someone here at Cake, local listeners, you will understand this. A friend of mine who came to Winnipeg was like, "Your streets are bullshit," and I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, I thought I was driving down St. Mary's, and then I continued on to St. Mary's, so she came downtown on St. Mary's, so Maine, right?"
Okay,
Turns
so it
into
becomes
Maine.
Maine. Oh, yeah, street
and then she's
names
driving
become
up,
other
and then
street-
there was one. She's like, and then I look, and there's a street sign going left saying St. Mary, and I'm like, wait, am I supposed to be? Am I lost? And then she turned on St. Mary, but she was supposed to stay on Maine.
Because St. Mary's turns into Maine, and at the end of it, it turns into...
It stays Maine.
It stays
Nine,
Maine. Okay.
Southern.
What about the switch from Dakota?
Oh, okay. Shall we do that?
We shall, because
Shall
we're in
we?
the south end. But
All right,
I don't
we're
say
actually
don't
near
say
Dakota.
where, but
Yeah.
we're in the south end.
We're in the Southie. So
Okay.
it goes Dakota, Dunkirk, Osborne. Then it gets to not Memorial, no Balmoral, and then I think Salter, and then there's another one. At the
And that's
very
one
end.
street in our
And it's
city.
all in the same. As,
5
you literally
name
can go
changes.
from the southern, almost the southernmost point of the city. You can hear the perimeter to all the way to the northernmost.
Where you
part.
can also hear the perimeter.
Yeah, that's the only.
I've
street
never done
does
that drive. I should do that.
It's pretty nuts. I would recommend doing it because the change in scenery is kind of crazy.
I would
You
do
go
it
from
during-
like suburbia. Oh, golf courses for rich people. Ooh, hipsters. Guys? Is that okay? Hey, you need directions? No!
I would do it during the day.
I would definitely recommend doing it during the day. Yeah.
That's
oh,
awesome.
Goodness. Yeah, I love our town. All right, back on track.
Yes.
Hockey.
Okay,
Hockey.
right before we
Hey,
started this,
Did any of us even bother going to throw a snowball at Ron McLean or anything this weekend?
at hometown hockey,
Yeah.
I didn't even mention it last week.
I didn't even know he was here.
I actually, you know what?
Where was he? I didn't know until it was too late.
You know what
Where
I
was
did do
hometown
though?
hockey?
When? Here?
Yeah, here.
When?
Where did they? This weekend.
It was at the
Yeah.
Forks, I think, or
Oh, was
something.
that the Forks?
day?
Oh yeah, there he is.
No, that's
Right.
me.
Oh, that's you. I thought it was Ron McLean.
Yeah.
That is a massive Budweiser light.
Oh.
Yeah, I went and saw it. It was downtown, so I saw it.
Down.
Don't. Ah, damn it. We continued the singing streak. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, well, Pavel Datsuk, rumors floating.
The Magic Man.
The Magic Man himself. Ask your iPhone who's the Magic Man. It'll tell you. Pavel Datsuk.
Plays for the
Rumors going around that he might play in the KHL next year to play out his career. Dan, what would happen if he played out in the KHL next year to Detroit in his
He would be
contract?
screwing them over.
Because,
Plain and simple.
yeah, why?
Because his $7.5 million cap hit would still count.
I hope the streak ends because the Flyers are doing this. Eat, sleep, conquer the streak, repeat. Brock Lesnar, what's that? WrestleMania
Hey,
this
now.
weekend.
Calm
Detroit's
yourself.
in the third in the Atlantic right now, so you guys won't even knock them out.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
I
they're
want
just
that
the
You
bees.
can,
streak
thank,
to
you
end.
can thank Boston for screwing
No!
up.
Damn it, Boston.
No, you can thank
Oh!
the Hawks for beating Boston.
Speaking
actually.
of Jimmy Vesey, he's apparently agreed to sign with Boston.
What a guy.
But
Suck it,
hey,
Toronto.
it's only word. Words don't mean anything till you sign it on paper.
Especially to Jimmy Vesey. Oh! Hey.
Okay.
Just saying. No, I'm just saying.
Oh
he had a
yeah,
verbal
Carey
commitment
actually
to
talked
sign
to
with
me about that.
Nashville.
He's like, "Who's this Vesey douche?" He's fully on like the not team Vesey.
Well, here's the thing. I got a love for David Poyle. All right, I feel bad for the guy because no one ever wants to stay in Nashville for some reason.
Who banks on a college kid to save your season?
No, they don't. Well, save the season. They're crushing it.
Fine, you don't keep a top
No,
6
I don't-
spot open for a college kid.
I will admit that that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
But all that said, when you think a guy is signing with you and then he doesn't, he's like, no, I don't like. No.
and he had already previously stated multiple times
Yeah,
he's going
they're
to
like,
sign.
well, what the hell? You came to our camps. We went to your house.
We wine and dine you. We brought you into a Fuda.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the blind side when they just try and like woo the little kid?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I feel like this whole situation is like. You can be the mascot for a game. We'll let you run the field every game. All these guys
Oh yeah.
That's what I feel like this situation is
the
like.
States are insane. But yeah, that sucks.
True. I don't know. I just feel bad for David Poile because I think he's a good guy. You always hear that, and feel bad for the Preds, and because their team have been trying to build into like a real contender for a long time, and now they have what's that idiot who plays center for them that I hate, Ribeiro. And
I thought you were about to say Johansson.
Johansson.
Oh no!
Oh no! He's a fool, but he's all right.
No, yeah, we all have the same sentiment towards Mike Ribeiro. He's an asshole, and I will go on record and saying that was me, Cameron.
I cannot stand that man.
Yeah.
No, he's a bad person. He abused his wife and everything. Anyway.
And among other things. All right. Well, speaking of terrible things happening,
he's a bad man.
Steven Stamkos out 1 to 3 months with a blood clot in his right arm. He had surgery
Tampa's
this
bank is not going over well. They were like, "It's okay. We'll get the cup this." Oh no!
And we still haven't signed him. What do you think, Dan? Have they suddenly?
What are the numbers?
Our cup picks suck now. By the way.
Well, I know that.
No. We picked at the start of the year. They are bad.
Wow. What did you pick?
We'll talk about it next podcast because the next one after that's playoffs.
I picked Washington. I think. I know that Anton Strawman, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman, and Ryan Callahan are all hurt right now.
Hedman's out too right now.
Yeah.
For how long?
A couple weeks.
So
they're running on empty into the playoffs.
Whoever's playing them in the first round is like.
I think it's Detroit.
Oh, you know what's
right
great?
now.
It's Detroit.
When Detroit
They're
makes the
gonna go to
second
the
round
final.
and Philly loses in the first
No,
round,
when Philly-
you are going to be so miserable.
That's not
And
going to
I
be a fun
cannot
podcast for anyone.
I cannot wait for that phone call. Hey, Cam, did you see who moved on to the second round?
You know what would be better if the Wings beat the Flyers in the playoffs.
That would be amazing.
Well, they wouldn't meet till the conference finals.
That'd be better.
Be so crazy.
Hold
would
on.
be
I just want to
better.
say if playoffs started today,
Yeah.
Flyers play Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So easy pickings. Flyers, obviously, in six.
Okay.
Six.
Okay.
Quote me because that's my pick.
I love
Penguins
how
are playing the
confident he is.
Rangers. Pens in 5. Guess
Whoa.
who playing in...
Dude, did you forget they have a man they call Hank?
Oh, that's great. They have no one else. So perfect.
Okay, fine.
You can't stop the onslaught that is the
I would
filthy.
strongly disagree.
Nope.
Based on
You guys, I'm
real
giving you
experience.
insider trading on my
Based on
picks.
Rick
So
Nash? No? Okay. I'm just kidding.
they probably
Based on
won't-
insider experience, I would strongly disagree with you on that.
With,
Anyway.
what? New York?
Rangers.
Betting against the Rangers? Yeah, it's never a healthy idea to bet against the Rangers.
5 games, Penguins over Rangers. I digress. Round 2 would be Flyers playing the Penguins.
I know, you
We
want
all
that.
want it. Come on.
I do. I would love
I
to
do
see
want
that
it.
series again.
Who wouldn't want to see Tampa Detroit? Because I didn't watch one goddamn game last year because it was boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't like Detroit and I don't like them winning. And weird fun fact now that we're on Detroit, and I don't like Detroit so much that I've learned to just read stats on Detroit to bring up because I don't like them. Dylan Larkin was -5 when this streak started. He wasn't born 5 years in prior. 0. -5.
You're that negative fan that you hate something so much that you give it attention because you hate it, and then
Yeah.
in turn
Jealousy?
the team doesn't care
What
because
did
you're
I
talking
write?
about
I
them.
read a really good, or I heard a really good quote on Monday Night Raw yesterday.
You will like this.
doesn't matter.
You are every wrestling fan to Roman Reigns.
Oh, I know.
The more you boo him, the more you're going to see him.
Or
I'm
all
just
the
saying.
or all the left-wing Americans to Donald Trump. Good job.
Basically, but jealousy is just love disguised, jealousy is love disguised by hate. What is it?
Something like that.
Fuck! I wish I was smart and remembered words.
That'd be good. If you
We'll
could.
move on from this.
But yeah, no, it's true. Cam, your hate on for the Detroit Red Wings is unreasonable.
It is very Okay,
It's a family feud.
Have you ever met a Detroit fan who, when talking to them, no? Here's a challenge for
I
everyone.
was just gonna say, tread carefully.
Okay,
We know someone
Tread
very,
carefully.
very
There's somebody
well.
else in this house.
Yeah.
okay. Have you ever met a Detroit fan when talking to them and they're talking
Lots of
about the Wings? Who doesn't bring up the word classy or Steve Yzerman or Gordie Howe? No, it's fucking impossible because that's all they have, and they're not
Clearly,
classy.
you
They're
have
not
They're
never-
not classy.
Arena's a shithole. Everything's awful about Detroit.
Okay,
I
that's
hate
why.
the organization.
That's why it's so important for them to be classy. They're like, this arena's a shithole.
They should have gone down with the auto.
Have you ever met a Montreal fan who hasn't said, "Yeah, we've won 24 Stanley Cups"?
I'm okay with Montreal because I like Montreal. Detroit can fuck themselves.
Wow.
That's it.
That's cold. I don't even know what to
Good.
say.
I'm
Rough.
glad. I hope
I
it
don't know what
does.
to say.
I like.
It's like if you ever met a Rangers fan who wasn't just this asshole.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
Because and you know
Yeah,
what?
I try. I know Rangers fans. I
There's
try.
There's
I
a
just
good
can't.
buddy of mine who's a Rangers fan, and he is such a douche about it, and everyone just like.
You know what?
You know
I
what?
guess I should pump the brakes.
It's great.
Okay, I
love
appreciate what Detroit does for the NHL, but that's why I don't like them.
They
It's
give
not
them a
fair.
good image.
Lay off.
Why?
Because give other teams a try. Like
Have
Florida.
15 other teams get into the playoffs every year. It's not like they're the only ones.
Come on, stop only making it 15. Just
Fine.
lay off once a
Why
year.
doesn't Chicago not make the playoffs then?
Because I like Chicago. It's different.
See?
Personal bias.
Breadman.
Panera. Panera. Panera.
Yeah, you're on your own for that one.
Yep.
Yep.
The Breadman.
I hate that guy.
Speaking of that, Patrick Kane hit 100 points.
Ah, very good.
I know, right?
Good for
All
him.
right.
Good for him.
Patrick Kane is now wearing
You're
this.
definitely innocent now, Patrick.
Patrick
Definitely.
Kane, actually, you know what? Should I say? Yeah, I was. Okay, well, you know what? I'll rattle through the injuries real quick, and then we're
Okay.
going to bring on Greg. And then Greg will be on this with us.
Also, have we talked about Calder nominations already?
No,
on
we
the
don't talk about
podcast?
that because when David's got locked up. So
Okay, I just wanted to state my opinion that I think Ghost Bear should get it, but that's just me.
Ghost Bear should get it, but we know McDavid's getting it, so it's different.
That's true, he's the golden boy.
Well, yeah, and he's going to look great when Austin Matthews is also on his
I
line.
think you're both wrong. The Breadman's winning it.
No way! How?
Actually,
Okay,
you know
we
what?
can't get into it. We got to wrap it.
goddamn points.
I gotta put the nail in this because I gotta
No,
call
here's
Greg.
okay, just one final thing.
Go.
There's 3 cases for each. Each of them have a different case. Okay, McJesus has the McJesus case. He's
And the
golden
points per
boy.
game is
the
what he's
points
got.
per game. Panarin replaced Patrick Sharp and did stellar and brought Patrick Kane to a new to a new level. And then Ghost Bear made his team go from a defensive nightmare to actually being able to move the puck out of their end.
Winning games
and
playoffs.
making the playoffs.
One
maybe.
argument, quick
Probably.
argument against the Breadman. He's 24 years old for one.
Yeah, he started his career.
But that doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. He
He's
started
playing
his
with-
career 1 year after Giroux was in the NHL.
Look at the players he plays with.
Yeah, no, that's my counter argument.
Look who
to
he's
Brett.
playing with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously,
Well, a lot of
just saying.
players have played with them and not put up those numbers.
Look
And
who
the other
Ghost Bear is
thing-
playing with. Exactly. You don't know who.
Who is Ghost Bear?
Andrew
playing with?
McDonald. Great. No. You know what they did? They couldn't find a decent pairing for Ghost Bear. So what they did is they called up his partner from the AHL, which was Andrew McDonald. I love Hextall. He's the best. He sent him down to save cap, and then they're like, "Shit, we need a guy to play with Ghost Bear." Well,
All right, fine. And he's like, yes. Come on back.
come here, buddy.
Come here, buddy.
Yay! All right, other just quick notable injuries. Ryan McDonough's out indefinitely with a upper body injury.
Now all of a sudden, you betting against the Rangers makes a lot more sense.
Oh, Marc-Andre Fleury's out 1 to 3 weeks with a concussion, but they called that
I
Matt Murray.
rescind that statement.
But they called that Matt Murray. He was AHL goalie of the
Solid
US.
goalie, yeah.
Travis Hamonick's out till the end of the regular season. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna rattle through these quick suspensions, and then I'm bringing Greg on. Or I'm gonna try
For
and
the Kadri suspension.
So Kadri got 4 games for a cross check on Glendening,
Yeah.
Luke Glendening, because he cross checked him
Did
in
you
the
see the whole
head.
battle?
Oh, yeah, but Glendening was giving him shots low, and he just skates at him like full on, like
Oh, dude,
Big-
it's super dirty.
Yeah.
Kadri took it from a 2 to a 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
like,
Kadri
that's a
does
classic battle.
the infamous 1 week double dip. Ronaldo did it last week, suspended from both leagues, or 2 weeks ago. But
Somebody did it?
Kadri got 4 games for a cross check and fined $5,000 for embellishment 2 games before. Yep.
It's a rough week for
Nail
Kadri.
Yakubov got fined $2,000 for embellishment, and Jason Chimera got fined $5,000 for butt ending Ghost right in the nuts.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I got a few texts being like, "He sold it." I'm like, "Will you watch that replay?"
It doesn't feel good. I can probably guarantee you. It
I
doesn't
know
feel
I've done
good.
it to people.
Yeah,
I can't
do
say
not,
I've received it.
I believe you forgot one.
Dude, the
suspension.
Duncan Keith one, the first few times I saw it... when
Carey,
you-
how dare you break a tease? Good, we're bringing on Greg, so hold on a second.
All right, I'm sorry. We'll talk about Duncan
Oh,
Keith.
to preface, Greg's in Windsor. He might be in a public place. It might be loud, and the audio might be horrendous. So let's see how this goes.
It's the Greg experience.
Hello?
Hello, Gregory. Last minute podcast here. How's your scout?
No!
How's your scouting report going?
It's excellent.
Why no? What's wrong, Greg?
What's wrong with Last Man In podcast that you have to say
No,
about it?
I'm locked out of my hotel room just in underwear.
In your underwear? Perfect.
Yeah.
That's how Last
Sweet.
Man in
This is
Podcast.
going on the podcast.
Reporter.
Okay, Greg. Since
I
you're
know.
since you have time because you're locked out, let's talk about a certain suspension. A Mr. Keith. What happened? What are your thoughts?
Nazem Kadri's suspension. You know what?
No, Duncan
After
Keith.
Duncan
We
Keith.
don't care about
Open your
Kadri.
ears.
The
Damn
big
it.
one.
The real
The
one.
good player.
Who?
Duncan Keith.
Duncan Keith. Greg.
Oh, him. Yeah, he deserved more games.
Whoa. I think he
That's
got.
pretty simple.
I think he got a little too many games.
Really?
I would have given him
I
4.
think he should have had like.
He was only going to roll over, and his stick just so happened to glance Charlie Cole's face. That's
Yeah,
all I
he-
saw.
I don't know. I
He
saw
sold
him.
that pretty bad.
No, he was
I'm
going
gonna
to get
roll
him.
over.
I don't. To me, that looked like a rolling like head chop.
Tomahawk
Like,
chop.
Yeah.
He made it look like an accident, and that's what
He
made
did
it.
not make it look like
That
an
made it-
accident
No, no,
to
no.
me.
He tried to
I
make-
was like, "Hey, Coyle," and like when you watch a player and you're like, "I wish he would just turn around and smack that guy in the face with a stick," and then he did it, and I was like, "Oh, that's what I would have done."
So, Greg, what are your thoughts on the Keith and Kadri suspensions?
They screwed up the Keith one. I think that should have been 10 games. I understand why they reduced it, why it wasn't. I think it's 6 or 7. I think he gets a playoff game, and that's why they want him to just be suspended for a playoff game. Kadri, he got what he deserved. He went over the line, and yeah, I'm okay with it.
All right, what do you have to say about the city of Windsor? How's it treating you so far? Are you excited for the game of the year tomorrow?
Yes, I'm excited for that game. It's been a blast. Very intoxicated things have happened. Some
Hey.
stories that I will not share on the podcast.
Have you gotten drafted by the Windsor Spitfires yet?
No.
You
but,
could be the next Greg Nemes.
What?
What?
You could be the next Greg Nemes.
Oh.
I'm glad you know who that is, so that's
Oh,
perfect.
he's another big guy named Greg who played for the Windsor Spitfires.
Hey, Cam,
Looked
guess
like
what
you,
I did today?
Cam, what did you do today? Well, why would you?
Guess what I did today? I don't care what you do.
No, I was reiterating your question, Dick. Jesus, I don't like field reporter Greg. He's mean.
Well, I am about 3 beers deep. So.
You
Greg,
had
Greg, are you hungry or something right now? Because you're just not yourself.
Did you have a Snickers? Because you should have one.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I scored on a penalty shot.
Whoa! I like how you sound like you're in a tunnel inside a microwave right now. What was the move? Describe it, move by move, to the people of Last Man In podcast.
And please try to limit it to 11 because we all know how many deeks you throw.
I can't hit the center.
Greg, I can't even hear anything. All you're doing is like.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Kind of.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I can't wait to describe this. Just you tell me, and I'll re-describe it. You say it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I went down the right side, looked for shot. Backhand toe drag.
Perfect. Don't move wherever you are. Do not move.
Faked it. Faked the backhand. Pulled forehand around his poke check, and like just slid it in. And the ref was even like, "No go." Oh wait, that did go in. Okay. Cameron.
What?
I found an ice room here.
Okay.
Well, this is an adventure.
This has nothing to do with anyone but me on the pod. I like how we found a nice room, and it's only for me. I know what you're referencing, Greg, but still.
We're gonna have to
All right,
explain that
Greg.
later.
We'll let you go then. What do you have closing? We're not going to close off with you, but what do you want to say anything to the people for the last week? Predictions for the game tomorrow. I'm going to guess 4-2 Flyers, and that's 2 missed shots on net by the whatever team they're playing. They're winning 4-0.
The other thing, what was I going to say?
I'm done.
Did you guys talk about Shane Doan's tanking thing?
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. That was a cool idea.
No, we totally
So
missed it.
I'll leave you with that. Shane Doan has talked about his idea for how to take tanking out of hockey.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Greg. Have fun.
See you next week.
We will.
I'll be back.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Carey, you carry on.
Yikes.
What was he referring to? Because I have no
So
idea.
Shane Doan today was, or I guess yesterday maybe, he was talking about how there's been an idea put forward to, I guess, kind of come up with a way to eliminate tanking among the bottom ranked teams. And basically the way that it works is once you're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, from that point on, it's a race for those teams. And the best team gets the best overall chance.
So the team with the most points.
Yeah.
That's
from that point forward.
awesome.
I know. I was like, that's actually a
So
great
when you're
idea.
knocked
But
out of the
hold
playoffs,
on,
they
that-
take your points percentage for the rest of your games.
Yeah.
So
But what if it's like one game? You could be 1,000.
Yeah,
because you could win.
I guess that's true, but I don't know. There must be a way to weight it.
I feel like once the bottom 5 teams are all knocked out.
I think that's what he meant. Yeah, because it would be the lottery teams, right? Not
Once the bottom 5 teams are all knocked out,
Yeah.
you see who has the fewest games left,
Yeah.
and you take. So say if one team has 11 games left, the other teams have 12, 13.
Yeah.
Everyone's final 11 games are what
Right.
counts.
Yeah. Exactly.
That could work.
I think it would work great. I think it would be.
Yeah.
I think it would really actually make you happy about a win again. Because this season, not just for the Jets, but for a lot of teams, because of the parity we've seen this year, it's just been rough for the last month.
Well,
so many teams are just
Edmonton and Calgary and Toronto. There's so many teams that just suck, and it's like, do you?
But then they keep winning when they should.
Yeah, and if Toronto and Calgary are playing each other, even in the last month, it means nothing. I'm not watching it.
Well, and here's the thing too: they suck, but they don't suck as much as teams have in the past, right? They're going to be finishing with around 70 points. That's going to be the last place team. Last year and the year before that, it was always around 50 to 52, which is bad. But these are.
Buffalo finished with, I believe, 56 points last year.
There you go. Yeah.
But they intentionally tanked. But I love that idea. I didn't know that.
I like it.
Wow.
I like it.
Okay.
So.
Old man Shane's got some good ideas left.
I think he's got plenty.
Oh, he's super smart. I like.
He's a good guy.
Okay, I bite my tongue. I'm not a big fan of Shane Doan. But he's
on the ice.
On the ice. But he's a smart guy. He's
and he's a good guy.
He's going to be a good ambassador for the NHLPA once he decides to go. I think, if he wants to take that route.
Yeah.
It's like Ron Hainsey. I think he should do that.
Cam likes Shane Doan as much as Blake Wheeler likes Shane Doan.
That's a fair statement.
Which is not much.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Blake Wheeler not get along very well?
Dude, remember last year when we were at LV and then we came back and watched the Jets' first game of the year when Wheeler threw down the dome?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew the moment you said Blake Wheeler, I knew I was going to use that reference to show Carey.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good
That's
time.
about how much Cam likes Shane Doan.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, just to close it out, I guess I have a few random notes. Corey Perry played his 800th game.
Whoa, that went by quick.
Yep.
I remember when he was a baby Perry.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Jakub Voracek played his 600th game.
Really?
He started
they
right
let him
when-
in that many games already? Holy
He started when he was he started when he was 18 in Columbus. Remember that?
yeah, with
and
the
then
flow.
and then they didn't. He still hasn't.
I know.
It's
but
just on his face now too.
I know, he didn't used to have that.
But he
Big old
I think we've
clown face.
referenced this every time we mention someone that used to play for Columbus, but someone last year made an all Columbus team of players they've gotten rid of,
they're
and
good.
it's ridiculous.
They're good.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
Rick
but hold on. There's
Voracek.
players were traded for players.
Yeah.
So it was just
Very
literally
good.
players who had played.
Yeah, they had Jeff Carter for a while.
Carter,
and then Jeff-
Gabrick,
Rick Nash.
Nash,
They traded Jakub Voracek and
Voracek.
Jakub Voracek and the pick that got Sean Couturier for just Jeff Carter.
Ugh!
Well,
Oh,
in
God,
And he
hindsight,
that
played there
hurts.
for about a half a year.
Not even.
yeah, he got traded at
He
before
was,
deadline.
And he was bad.
He was mad. He didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And they made a deal with fans because Jeff Carter got them Jack Johnson, and Jeff Carter wore number 7 because he couldn't wear 17. So the 10 fans that had Jeff Carter jerseys, they offered free name bar replacements.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
not bad.
I love when fans
They can
do that.
afford it.
That's like Ottawa. They had a promotion. I think I mentioned it when they got FNUF. They said anyone who's a Toronto fan that has a FNUF jersey, trade it in. We'll give you 50% off a FNUF Sens jersey.
That's not a
Wow.
bad deal.
Nice.
That's okay. I mean, you're-
Crossover to the dark side, eh?
yeah, that's how they get you, right?
All
Okay.
right.
It's the sensible decision.
Oh.
Oh!
God. Thanks.
That's what Eugene Melnick would want you to think. I mean.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw, but Max Jones, he's going to be a first-round draft pick this year. He threw one of the dirtiest hits I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
He got suspended 12 games in playoffs. As he's going off the ice, he was laughing.
Oh, he's a dirty muffa.
Probably shouldn't laugh. That never
I
should be
think
laughed.
that they tacked on probably an extra 2 to 4 for the fact that he was laughing when he was.
Who do you think will draft someone like that? Go.
Are you looking at me because you think it's going to be the Flyers?
No, I don't. But I'm curious.
He's right in the range of the
Because
Flyers.
it's the Flyers or the Bruins, and you know it. Or the Kings.
Oh yeah, the Kings. Or hold on,
Maybe St. Louis.
who's who's the mini the second level asshole team? Like obviously the tier ones are like Boston, Flyers, LA,
Like
St.
Blues.
Like the dirty chippy teams.
But level
Winnipeg.
2 where they're not as bad.
Winnipeg,
Dallas, Winnipeg.
Dallas is a fucking chippy
Dude,
team.
Dallas with that.
Talented
What's
team.
that? What's that French idiot on
Rousseau?
their team? Oh my god.
The guy that Bufflin tried to murder in one game once.
Yeah, good. Do it again, Buff. Get him out of the league. I can't stand that kid. Frick. Every time I watch Dallas, he's always sticking someone. I'm like, would you just fight somebody, Rousseau, you piece of crap? Ugh.
He won't. He won't.
I know. He's the French Sean Niven. Would I could do fight you? Get out of here. Anyway.
Dan, do you have the election for us today?
I will.
One of the final elections before you pretty much cemented in.
I just wanted to add a brief comment on Kadri versus Keith.
Oh, sorry,
I
Keith.
thought that there should be a little more of a gap between those two because Keith's was like freaking dangerous.
Okay,
I would agree.
If I'm going to do,
Kadri's was definitely 4. Keith's probably.
Yeah, Kadri's. I think they got bang on. I feel like Keith's like I know they say playoff games as 2 or 3 games. I still think he should miss the first 2 playoff games.
So give him 7.
Yeah, because then
so the
that's
suspension would have equaled essentially.
Because then he doesn't
games.
play with them until they're on the road, which is a distinct disadvantage. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. What do you know? What do you mean?
Like, because if you miss the first 2 games of a playoff series, you're missing your former Conn Smythe winner for those 2 home games in Chicago.
And you're already at an advantage because you have home ice. So
right. So it's like take away Duncan Keith for both of those games.
I like that.
That's I don't know.
Really
and just
oh my god! And
man, Duncan Keith is amazing. Okay, like I think he's a really he's one of my favorite defensemen. But like, dude, what are you doing?
As much as I hate to agree, but he does write good articles a lot.
Who's this?
Gary Lawless wrote an article.
He's great.
I'm gonna see if I can find it, but
Lawless he's really grown on me the last year.
Lawless says Lawless wrote an article about the Duncan Keith situation, saying people are like, "Oh, it's only his second suspension," but okay, let's go back to even like his last suspension, who's in the playoffs on Jeff Carter, where he blatantly swung his stick, and like a ref is like he could reach and touch the ref, and he swung and hit Jeff Carter in the side of the head with his stick.
Yeah.
Like that's blatant disregard. You're trying to.
How many games did he get?
I think he got. I think he got 1, maybe 2, maybe. I don't think he got more than 2.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
2 years ago or 3 years ago?
He got 2 games for that.
It was 2 whenever the Kings won
Oh,
because it was the Kings beat him to get there.
I do remember, like, here for me the thing.
But
with
he
Duncan
does
Keith,
little.
he's not a big guy though, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a really little guy for a defenseman. He's only 6 feet tall, so like, yeah, most of his infractions aren't going to be the Dustin Byfuglien, messing guys up kind of thing. It's going to be stick infractions. It's going to be like when Phil Kessel was swinging at John Scott. Those are one of the funniest things I ever seen.
But see, both of Duncan Keith's suspensions have been at heads.
Yeah.
And let's just give something he didn't get suspended for, but a lot of people took offense to it. When the Hawks were playing the Blues 2 years ago in the playoffs, when David Backes got obliterated by Brent Seabrook. David Backes is clearly concussed, barely able to stand the ref, while the ref is helping him get up on the boards. Yeah. Duncan Keith, there's a ref between them, and he's literally laughing at him, looking at him, going, "Wakey, wakey, David!" Like, what kind of person does, you know what I mean?
To be fair, the guy that he's saying that to is also the guy who said, after breaking someone's neck, I'll do it again if I have to. So,
Duncan Keith, to close it, Duncan Keith does not have the best track record. Look what he said on TV to that female reporter a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe Duncan Keith, not the best guy.
No, and it's finally kind of catching up to him, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the one game... I was clearly joking with Greg, by the way. Like, I fully believe he probably... Me, when I saw that, I thought auto 10. Yeah. Auto 10.
Well, that's... For me, if you're doing an intentional headshot, they should be coming at some kind of...
Start at 8 and go from there. Like, and that one, that was right at his face!
Yeah.
Like,
and if you swing a stick at a head, 10.
Right off the hop and then go from there. Yeah.
Like, what did Chris Simon get for that Ryan Hallweg thing? Remember that in
I
like
don't.
2006? He came off the bench and literally swung like a baseball bat.
I don't
That guy
remember.
said he got like 28 games or something for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he was a repeat.
the thing that made it worse, and that I thought for sure started 8 for me, was the fact that he was lying on the ground. He looked and he tried to cover up and make it look like an accident.
Yeah.
And then he fully just whams it. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. That's right off the top when you're trying to cover up,
That's
but
some-
wait, that move.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that's
some rising
that's for
revenge
sure
right
10.
there.
So
Yeah.
it's like 5 for the regular season, and they say like NHL's ruling is for every 2 or 1 playoff game is 2 regular season. Well, that's fine. Then you're gonna have to give them 10 playoff game or 10 regular season, and then give them 5 playoff game or whatever. How it works out, 10 games total, because that takes them out for 5 games. That means the Hawks better be on their best behavior before he comes back.
He should have gotten the first round. To the end of the
I
first
don't
round.
get that.
Yeah, that's
So 13 games, 12 games.
Potential. End of
12
the first
games.
round.
Yeah, 12 games. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. What is the election?
5th, Calgary. 4th, Winnipeg. 3, Columbus. 2, Toronto. 1, Edmonton.
Come on, Columbus. I know you got it in you. to
All
win.
those
I
teams,
know you can do it. Win that pick, baby.
Every team except for Edmonton has 3 games left. Edmonton has 2. So
Edmonton's like, it's
Calgary-
okay. You know what? I'm not even worried. They're gonna mess it up. It's okay.
Calgary and Winnipeg cannot get the last pick. They cannot finish dead last. So they just can't. Edmonton only has 2 games
That's fine.
left. They're
You
both
want to
5
be
points up.
2-3. That's a sweet spot.
Winnipeg and Calgary can
Ed-
both finish second, as low as second worst. Every other team can still finish dead last.
Edmonton's only finished dead last once, and then dead last once where they got the pick.
Yeah.
I forget what pick that was, but it's
I
like
think
they're
that might have been Yak.
okay. Well, their sweet spot though is where they're
Which we
second or
talked
third,
about
and they've
earlier.
won it 3 times. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
closing words, Carey. Do you want to pimp yourself out or say any closing words about the NHL or how you thought the season went?
Oh man.
We're gonna bring you on for a playoff episode. So,
That'd be great.
For
When are
sure.
we doing playoff
When I'm in
picks?
town. Yeah.
well, but the last podcast before playoffs, I guess.
Well, that's gonna when does play? Because
We're gonna have to
the
do
season ends this weekend, so we better do
No,
it.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
There's 3 games left for every team. It's over
Yeah.
this weekend.
And then playoffs start
Next week.
Next week.
on
Wednesday, I
Wednesday.
think.
Yeah, well, we're doing Tuesday, so it'll be.
better.
We're gonna wrap up the season and do our pick. Well, we have to. We will definitely
Okay.
do that.
Should I throw my picks in or what?
You can if you'd like.
Why
Okay,
not?
no, you know what?
Not
I'm
everybody's clinching.
gonna give you what? No, I'm gonna give them conference finals and final and Conn Smythe. Go.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
That's fine
Okay.
because you're wrong already. If you,
Oh, I guarantee I'm wrong. For the
That's
full
fine.
disclaimer, I'm picking these for fun.
we're not experts. This is all about
I'm not
fun.
an expert. This is what I'd like to see because I'm kind of tired of the same old, same old. I want to shake it up a little bit.
Go.
Okay.
Let me have it. Let us have it.
Here's what I've got. And you might actually like this.
Okay.
Okay. Conference finals. San Jose versus the Wild.
Oh yes.
Lots of green and turquoise, baby. Lots of green and turquoise.
But now, does Minnesota make the state of hockey go insane, or does the San Jose Sharks finally burst through that goddamn roof and make it?
You bet they finally
Yeah?
broke through the roof.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Jumbo Joe is taking it to
Wow.
the fucking roof.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's finally going to the finals, and I'm buying Sean Air another jersey.
Okay.
And over on the East, who have we got? Let's see. I'm gonna have to. No, I'm not gonna appease you.
No, you don't cater to people.
It's got to be Washington. Who would they play?
Cam and I already know
I'm
who
trying
we
to
want
think.
to win out of the East.
I know. I'm just trying to think
Yeah,
who's
Philly.
even
Obviously.
like. No, yeah, you know what? I want to see this Washington, Florida, in
Fuck
the
yeah.
finals.
You know what?
They're amazing.
As much as I hate to agree with Dan, you're fucking right. I'm with Dan on this. Washington, Florida. Why
would
not?
be
It's a best.
amazing.
It's a win-win. Like
Yeah.
either Bobby Labango's getting in the final, and the Barcoggerdo, of course, and Kevin Spacey in space,
Absolutely.
because he's going to be in that cup picture if they win. He better be.
Yep.
He has to.
Okay.
100%.
Or you get Ovi.
Yeah.
And it's Ova. Oh, you guys, send me hashtags, ideas for playoffs regarding my beard, because I need tags, because I'm shaving it off and then I'm doing the playoff beard again.
Yeah.
Mine's it's Ova for Ovi.
Fair enough.
And not like good way, like the argument is over, but I'm
Yeah, I
argument
know what you're
Alexander's argument. Boom.
Alexander's argument.
Ooh,
That
I
is
think
what
I
your
got it.
beard
I
is
think
gonna
I
be
got
called.
it.
And
Yep.
it better be real thick by the Stanley Cup
Real
final.
thick.
Real
Real
thick.
thick.
You know, real thick.
Okay, so you got
So I got
Washington,
Washington,
Florida.
Florida.
Ooh, who do you got in the final?
Okay, so Washington, Florida goes to 7. San Jose, Many goes to 6. Washington advances, San Jose advances. Okay.
Okay.
Now that what I like about this is it guarantees that a franchise will have its first ever Stanley Cup.
Which is awesome.
Which is awesome. Because I feel like every franchise after a certain point should have their glory year. You know, where they're like, I remember that year when they won the cup. That was sweet. I think it's good for the fans. So,
2012 LA Kings versus 2014 LA Kings. 2012, yay! 2014, fuck you!
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly my sentiment. Yeah.
So, who do you got?
Wash in 6.
Wash in 6. Okay.
Sorry, Jumbo. I'm sorry. I love you. You just didn't get it done. And MVP has got to be the man who's holding it down, Braden Holtby.
You brought in Rhyme Time into Holtby?
You bet I did. Because he's holding it down against Rhyme Time.
Oh! Yes!
It's
If
okay.
you guys don't understand, a friend of
dear
ours
friend,
is
yeah.
a very big, huge Monster Leafs fan. It's not Greg, it's
And he
another one.
loves James Reimer
And
so much.
his thing is like, he'll put his arms in the air and he'll just be like, and like push down and he'll be like, what did James Reimer do tonight? He was holding it down and like push towards the ground.
As he says, holding it down. You can kind of hear it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
holding it down. Holy
Dan
smokes.
is so not impressed right now.
All right, Dan, you have closing words?
I don't. Nope.
See, this is why we
Not
can't
at
bring
all.
Carey and I together in the same room. And next time, there's probably going to be like 4 of us in the room. That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be so hard to
That'll
keep
be a
track.
round table.
It'll be a round table discussion.
We should wear suits.
I'm not wearing a suit
Okay.
No, too hot.
because I'd have to buy a suit.
Hot damn.
All right, thanks
And
for
we don't
listening,
get paid
guys.
to do this.
Exactly. All right, so thanks for listening. Check us out on YouTube, Podomatic, iTunes, Pocket Cast, any podcast stuff you got.
Yeah.
Tweet us. Email us, lastmanNPC@gmail.com.
If you have
Yell at
any
us.
questions, ask them 3 weeks from now, because that's when we'll check them.
You're
Yep.
damn right. That's right. We didn't have any
Thanks
questions.
for all the questions, though, guys.
Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
sweet.
Thank you very much, everyone. And thanks here for
Hey, thanks
making
for
this
having
fun.
me, fellas. I appreciate it.
All right. See you guys later. Have a good one.